Hello, it's Reese here from the British basketball scene, and you might be wondering, Reese, sweet haircut, but also sweet t-shirt as well, because it's from alwaysballing.com. This t-shirt is a collaboration with alwaysballing.com and also the Amos Bursary. The Amos Bursary ensures that those with Afro-Caribbean descent excel past university, as it has been recently found in a study that black males earn 7,000 less than their white counterparts. £4 from each t-shirt sold will be going to the Amos Bursary, so go down and check the link in the description down below to buy this t-shirt and also check out what the Amos Bursary is about. Let's support the campaign that is bigger than basketball. Hello everybody and welcome back to the British basketball scene. I'm your host Reese as always, and I'm joined by a serial winner today. And if you don't believe me, just look at his last name. It's Lewis Champion. How you doing, Lewis?
What's going on, guys? Hey, yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here on the British basketball scene. So,
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
how's your lockdown been so far?
It's been pretty chill, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm not used to being locked down at all. I think everyone's used to being locked down, but I spend a lot of my off time kind of just chilling inside, playing games and stuff. So for me, that's kind of been a bonus really to be in lockdown. So obviously it's been quite hectic, kind of not being able to go outside or go and do things you usually do. But I've adapted to it. So yeah, it's been all right.
What games have you found yourself playing in lockdown at the moment?
Do you know what? I just started playing like crazy one-player games like Assassin's Creed and like Red Dead Redemption. I think I got it and never completed it, so I just thought I'm just going to play that. Try games that have a bit of a story that I can kind of lose myself in. So yeah.
You be playing like games like Warzone with the boys.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Always in the gulag, me. I'm always in the gulag. Always in the gulag.
You carrying the squads for sure.
No, never carrying. So I need to be put in a backpack and just carry to a win all the times.
So do you play any other game? Like, do you play like other squad game? Like, do you play like FIFA or do you play 2K?
Yeah, I play FIFA. I would say I'm probably one of the best FIFA players I know. Open to any challenges, anywhere, anytime. 2K, I'm alright at. I should be good at it, right? I play basketball, but I should be really good at it. But I'm okay. Like in my friend group, I'm probably one of the better players. But there's some people who are stupid good at 2K. So.
I mean, you go down the park in 2K, and you're like, you think you're good at the game when you play like my career and offline. Like, no, these guys play it for a living.
Play it all day, every day, and yeah, they're ridiculous. I think we started playing it a bit more now that obviously rooms in lockdown. But me and my friends kind of started grinding out a little bit, trying to get our guys to like to be good, get some badges, and yeah, still didn't help. Didn't help at all. Still getting smoked in the park every day.
It's like you get certain games. You're like, oh, this is easy. You get like a streak or two. You're like, no. Here comes like the guys with the backpacks.
Legends backpacks. Yeah, all that just comes. Yeah, just off the court. It's ridiculous.
It is insane. So, have you picked up any like new hobbies or anything, or been able to like pick up any other hobbies that you've like had to ditch because of basketball?
Or no, not really. No, not really. I tried. I've been for years now. I've been trying to like read, so like just like reading books and trying to get through some books. But I struggle with it because I just can't sometimes I'll read a page and like I'll forget what I've read at the top of the page. I have to go read the page again, and then I'm like, do you know what, I'll do this tomorrow. And then I think, you know, I'd rather go outside and run, or I'd go outside and do something, or go and work out in the garden or something else. So I wouldn't say I've picked up any new hobbies. I've tried to pick up new hobbies. I'm a pretty good cook, so I've been doing that a little bit. But other than that, no, not really.
What's Chef Champion cooking up there? You know, what's the best dish that you can like? So you're serving something at a 5-star restaurant. What's your dish?
I don't know. Do you know what? We did me and my family during lockdown. We did like a come down with me kind of thing. So all of us we had a day. We had to cook our food, and I actually cooked. I think it was like salmon tagliatelle, and then long stem broccoli. And it was good, man. It was sensational. I thought it was sensational. Anyway.
Who won that? Who won the
my mum won. She's a ridiculous cook. I think she's a ridiculous cook. Ridiculous.
I guess that's where your cooking ability comes from then.
Yeah, 100%. She's got all the cooking ability in the world, I think.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you decide to open a restaurant, then please do send the invite my way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So have you managed to catch much of the NBA return at all, or?
I've been watching. I thought about the other day buying the league pass, but I'm cool at the moment with the kind of restart games, just kind of watching. Well, I think when the playoffs start, I'll maybe get the league pass, but I've been kind of trying to catch up with the highlights in the morning. It's weird, honestly, watching them play with no fans, with like in a completely different, like no stadiums, no nothing. Seeing the subs or the other teammates kind of sat so far apart from each other, like it's weird. I love that it's back. It's great, but it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, have you managed to catch like the insider, like Tyrese Tybal and also JaVale McGee as well?
I watch so much YouTube, and I've been plugging into those as much as I can. It's cool, man. It's cool to see like kind of what they see, what they go through day to day, especially being in there, because it is such a different like outlook on it, and how they like their day to day. Normally, if there was the world was normal and there was in a normal NBA season, it would be. I mean, they'd probably be chilling, but seeing them in there and getting to see through their eyes what's going on and what they have to do is pretty cool, man. I like it.
Yeah, it's also nice to like. It's sometimes funny to watch. Like you'll see Paul Pierce join like the Celtics like virtual crowd. And,
I saw that.
It's just like it's very different, but it's also there's a lot of fun that can be had with this NBA return as well. Who are you rooting for at the moment, if you are at all?
So I don't really like teams. I like players. I think I just grew up like watching players and trying to like take little bits of players' games and kind of trying to put them into mine. I think that's why I like players. But I like LeBron. I grew up on LeBron. I think he's amazing what he's doing and what he does. So I would like LeBron to win, but I also like James Harden because he's a lefty. Yeah, I like Westbrook. Just as like how intense he is. I love that. Also, I like OKC. Just like Chris Paul. I think he's a really good player, real intelligent. What other teams do I like? And I love watching Luka Doncic play as well. I like that. I love how he plays. I love how he just came into the league as like a kid who was like obviously did amazing. Like everyone outside of the NBA, outside of USA, knew he was going to be really good, but they kind of doubted him so much going into the NBA because he was a kid from Europe, but just everyone knew his ability outside of that. So I love seeing him absolutely kill teams play. I love it.
Luka's like he's got a certain aura about him, and like I think you've listed off a lot of guards, and I think there are guard people and there are big man people. Mm-hmm. I'm more certainly a guard person because I'm under 6 foot. I'm like when I play basketball, I shoot from deep. Whereas like you got your taller friends that are like 6'5", they'll be like, oh no, I love Dwight Howard back. I grew up on Shaq, and you do gravitate towards more that you play with. Who would you say that you molded like your basketball like style from?
Do you know what? I say when I was younger, I watched a lot of Chris Paul stuff. I think because he's quite a small guard, he's just small, tries to get in the nooks and crannies. He's pretty good off pick and roll, but he's very, very good at pick and roll. He's not pretty good. So definitely tried to be just kind of trying to get like my IQ up in terms of looking at watching Chris Paul stuff and see how he sees the game, how he reads it. I would love to be able to play like Westbrook, but unfortunately, I'm not blessed with that athletic ability. So yeah, definitely Chris Paul. Just kind of guys who are maybe a bit undersized, not undersized, but smaller guys, not like your 6'5", 6'6" point guys that you can get a league moment. But yeah, definitely Chris Paul is one of the guys that I definitely watched a lot growing up. I still watch him now. But yeah, maybe a little bit of Dame Lillard as well. I like the way he plays, how fearless he is. So yeah, those two guys definitely.
It's like, I mean, compared to a lot of other players like that do play in the UK, you are quite, you're quite young yourself. So like, you will grow up on like guys like CP3, Dame Lillard, and maybe even like Allen Iverson as well. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
Like, how big were they like for you, like evolving your like basketball knowledge, your IQ, and like how you actually then formed into like, I mean, obviously you've dissected each one of these people. Like, is that what you did?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's what I do. Like, I'll watch a lot of, like I said, I love YouTube, so I'm forever watching like highlights or like games, or so I'll just watch like people who I feel like I'm similar, like in height to, or similar in kind of like my structure or my stature, like how I'm built. So and just watch them, kind of see what they do, how they do it, where they get to on the floor, how they get there. And definitely watch it, like you said, watch people like Allen Iverson. He was massive when I was, like, I think when I was growing up, he was the guy who was undersized, but was just still amazing. Like, was doing things that no one has seen some of that size do. So kind of watching him when I was younger definitely influenced me. And he was very like, he brought so many new, like just his character's personality, his dress sense, like he brought so much new stuff to the NBA. So watching him was definitely a big influence. But yeah, I would say CP3, those guys are more than that. Like, as I've grown, I've watched those because he's like, I just love the way he plays. Like, then again, like Damien, I just love the way they play and how intense they are. So yeah.
So looking towards the NBA at the moment, there's a big question. It's quite tricky to answer. Who's taking home the trophy?
I want to say the Lakers just because I like LeBron.
Yeah.
I remember when they won their first championship in Cleveland. I'd watched all the games. I remember watching the last game. I thought, I'll watch it. I have to watch it. And when he won, I was happy for him. I was so happy for him. Like, I think I screamed in my room because I was just like, it's amazing, like how far he's come, and obviously just I think the scrutiny he's under all the time. To see him succeed, he deserves it. Do you know what I mean? So I would love to say I'd love for the Lakers to win, but I think the Bucks have got a good chance. I feel like Portland have a good chance. I feel like they're a good team. And I know the Raptors beat LA recently, but I like how the Raptors play in terms of their team basketball. So I feel like they're just a bunch of dogs who want to play and they get after it. So I think they've got a chance as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Portland make it to the finals, that would be quite a shock. Like, they are the underdogs definitely going into this. Do you see them as the biggest underdogs, or do you see like there are a few other teams that could actually make it to the finals?
I would say probably Portland are probably the biggest. I think like teams who could make it to the finals, I think Portland would be the biggest underdog, definitely. But yeah, I'm trying to think who else is there. I would love to see the Pelicans there. Yeah. I'd love to see Memphis there because I like Ja Morant. I think he's good. He's been good for them. He's ridiculous.
Ja Morant is amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Nice.
I think he should be up for. I think he should take Rookie of the Year this year for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, if it's not his, then it's rigged.
If
it's not his, then it's rigged. If it's not his, it's rigged.
It's like that, one where Blake Griffin was supposed to take it, but he got injured and then he took it the year after. So sometimes the league just has an agenda and wants.
Yeah, no, of course,
they kind of want to choose Zion over.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I think if they like Zion, yeah, he's an amazing talent. I think given a full year, if he had a year like Ja Morant, a full year, it'd be a toss up between the two. But I think with how Ja Morant's played, especially with that Memphis team, they didn't have the best season last year, and this year they're in the playoff picture if they can get a couple more wins. So yeah, he's a special talent, man. He definitely deserves. I think even if Zion gets Rookie of the Year, Ja Morant still everyone else is Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Who do you like? What teams do you have like maybe disappointing the most like in the playoffs?
So like not getting as far as they should?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think the Rockets. I think they're going to struggle. I like them as a team. I feel like get there, but they don't have any height. I think that when they play against teams, and especially when you're playing against teams like in a 7-game series, teams suss you out quickly. And do you know what I mean? If a team can exploit their height, the lack of height they have, then I mean, James Harden, Russell Westbrook can put up points. Yeah, they put up a lot of points, but if you've got a team who can defend and they have some good height inside who can dominate, then it's going to be tough for them.
That's sort of the Rockets' curse as well. They always do well in the regular season. Then when it comes to the playoffs, they kind of just crumble. Yeah, it is. It's kind of that. I think one other team that I think that people are maybe putting up a bit too high, the Celtics. Like they've got a great team, but I think it's too young.
Still young. Yeah, definitely. They're very young. Very young. To be fair, the Celtics as well. I forgot about them, man. I like them as a team, but definitely they're definitely young. I think they got like Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Who else do they have on there?
Big Taco Fall.
Kemba Walker. I mean, I feel like they're Gordon Hayward. I feel like they might. I think they might surprise some people, but it's hard. It's hard for them. They're so young. I think they need a couple more like solid pieces before they can kind of like a superstar really who can kind of lead them.
Yeah, so taking it away from the NBA, what I like to do in these interviews, I like to take it back to where it all began. So, what are your first memories of picking up a basketball, or even just being hooked on the sport?
So you know what? I used to have a ring, a basketball hoop in the back of my back garden at our old house, and you just go out there and I used to play and I used to shoot, but I used to like have to throw it from under my legs. It's like something I had to throw it from my legs. I remember always doing that, and it like we had a net on it. The net broke off of it. I still would go and play like every day. I just enjoyed it. It was something about it. I just loved super. I really enjoyed it. And then I remember I went to at primary school. We used to have like after school clubs and stuff, and there was a basketball one, and Mum was like, "Why don't you try it?" I mean, I hadn't played it in a few years because I've been playing football and stuff. So I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing else to do after school. I'm just gonna go home and do nothing. So just started playing at primary school. Remember like they had like the old like plastic rings. I remember always used to try and like dunk on them all the time. It was like snap the ring down. So I always used to try and dunk on it, and it was like my mission for like the 2 weeks that we were going there, like was just to try and dunk on this rim in a game. And I remember the last session of before we broke up for like half time or something, I dunked the ball like in a game, and I was so excited. But that's probably my biggest memory is playing basketball in my old house, and then definitely in primary school, kind of just playing.
Well, with a lot of kids in like the UK at the moment, like they do go and prefer to like play football. Like, what kind of drew you towards basketball, and like kind of drew you away from football as well?
I was playing football, and I was playing at quite a good level when I was younger. Like most kids in England, like you can like had like some academies, but I never went to any. I never really wanted to take it that serious, so I never went to any like the trials for any of them. But I started playing basketball in primary school, and they asked me to go to a session. I enjoyed like more of a structured session, which I enjoyed. And then I remember I was playing football on a Saturday. And my football coach came up to me. He was like, "Lewis, you're enjoying your football, right?" And I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. In my head, no, and actually, I just want to be out playing basketball, and so I want to go and shoot the basketball with my like. I just want to go shoot or play basketball somewhere. I think like after that game, we won the game, and then that night I told him that I wasn't going to be playing football anymore, and I'm going to start taking basketball a bit more serious. But it was just, I think it was just like, I don't know, I just gravitated more towards basketball, just the people who I was around at the time, and kind of the discipline that it teaches you, and just the fun of it. It was something different, and I felt like I was better at it. At the time I wasn't better at it than I was at football, but it was a new challenge. Even at a young age, I just needed something new to kind of to learn. Like I needed more of a challenge, because I felt like football, I'd enjoyed it and I'd played it. It was good. But basketball was more like, okay, well, I can't put the ball through my legs, so okay, I'm going to go home and try to do it as much as I can, and then I'm going to try and do it in practice. So it's more like Whereas football, I'd be like, oh, I know I'm bigger and stronger than most of the kids, so I'm just gonna go. It's gonna be easy. But yeah, basketball was more of a challenge at that age, so I just gravitated towards it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look, to be fair, like that's kind of the same with me. Like I was trying to play football. I think there was one game. I think I snapped. I took my bib off, threw it at the coach, left. And I was like, "That's it. I'm going to go play basketball with my high school," and that was it. That was the end of it. So I think that's what a lot of kids don't like. They do gravitate more towards football. I think it's because there's not a lot of basketball clubs that are easily accessible. How easy was it for you to find like a club to play for?
Easy. I mean, I'm from Reading, so we had the Reading Rockets here. So it was like they were the guys who came into my primary school, and we did the sessions with them. So in that regard, obviously in my head at that age, I just felt like I thought there's basketball teams everywhere. But obviously, luckily enough for me, Reading was my hometown, and Reading had a team. So in that regard, it was simple to find a team. And yeah, it was lucky for me, because I know there's a lot of kids who have to travel far to play, or to play at like a good level. So yeah, luckily for me, I had quite a very good kind of prestigious club in England and in the Division 1, just on my doorstep really. So.
Yeah. So when did you like go and join the Reading Rockets? It's like academy type thing.
Yeah. So I joined as like, I think when I was like 10. Went to my first session, and like I played like between 10 and 12, I think I played football and basketball. So I played like half a football game, and then go and play like a basketball game, and then come back and finish the football game. So it was like, it was always active. But yeah, I think at like 10 and 12, I was doing that. But it was all stemmed from me playing at primary school. Yeah. So that kind of stuff. I went to a session, like an under 12 session, and I think like Adam Thosby was there. Adam Thosby was there. Obviously, just like a big kid in like an Australian, like it was like cricket top, or like or like rugby top or something. And he was he was super athletic already. Like obviously not as skilled as he is now, but still very skilled. Like just like raw talent. I remember playing against him, and I was just like, whoa, these kids are. Obviously, I come from primary school where like I'm dunking on little kids. Coming against playing against like Adam, I was just like, well, these kids are really good. And I was like, oh, this kid's better than me, a lot better than me. I need to be better than him. So I think that's what pushed me to kind of, I was never ever better than him, but I tried to be.
I'd lefty as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's something about like when left-handers shoot, it's like, oh wow, they are good.
Yeah.
So you played in Reading for quite some time, didn't you? You graduated and then played in like the under-18, like Division 1 as well. What was it like getting to that point and like developing your craft in your hometown?
It was good, man. I mean, in Reading, we had some really good coaches. Obviously Matt Johnson, who's a really good coach. I mean, he's kind of done his time, I think, as a coach now, and kind of is bringing through a lot of other good coaches, and a very good guy as well. So I was lucky enough to be in that group who kind of came up under him. We had JP Campbell as well, who coached I think he coached at UEL. I don't know if he coached at UEL anymore, but he used to. He was a really good coach. He coached me for under 16s. Ben Fisher as well, who was good. Very, very enthusiastic, like a real like players coach who was really good. So yeah, I think that was very beneficial for me coming through, and kind of being able to. They always pushed me to kind of to play up older age groups, even though I wanted to just chill and play with my friends at 16, but always pushed me to try and play under 18s. And I think that was very beneficial. At that age, you don't really understand that playing up at age group seems scary, but you don't realize that it's necessary for you to be able to play at the men's level. People are going to be stronger, physical, more quicker than you. So it's so necessary. So I was very lucky to have those guys around to be able to push me and to mold me into to play around today. So yeah.
And then from that, you actually get the call up to play for the GB under-20s.
Yeah.
What was it like getting that call up?
It was cool, man. Like it was, because I'd done England I did that England under 16 stuff. I think I got cut from it. Came back. They called me back to do like some more some more like training sessions and stuff. And I ended up being a reserve for the under 16 team, which was like I was cool with because I was just enjoying playing basketball. So it was cool to be part of that system. It was cool to have a little bit of recognition as like an England player. So that was cool. I didn't really understand what it all meant at the time, but yeah, then under 18s I had some problems with my knee, so I didn't end up going to under 18 stuff. So then to kind of come off a good season with Reading and win the Division 1 championship, and then be able to do the GB stuff was a cool, to really be involved in it and be part of it. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and like you actually go back to back winning the NBL Division 1.
Yeah.
What did it feel like having that impact for Reading?
It was cool, man. Obviously, to do stuff like that in your hometown and win for your hometown club is cool. Obviously, we had a really good team. The first time we had a really good team. We had like Luke Nelson, Danny Carter, a kid called Dorian Benjamin. Who else we had? We had I had a bunch of guys. I can't remember who we had, but we had a good team. But we didn't really know how to put it together until like the start of the season, and then we started playing really well. So we ended up winning that year. And our second year, we changed coaches. But we still had a really, really good. We had maybe even better team than we had the year before. We had like Josh Wiltshire, Ivan Manueli, Simon Stewart. Who else do we have? Danny Carter again. So we had like some Spanish guys as well that came with the Spanish coach that we had. So we had some really, really good, like a better team than we had that year, the year before. But I think we ended up winning like the trophy, the cup, the League One, but then losing the playoffs, which was annoying. But I mean, it is what it is.
And then the cherry on the top for that was winning the MVP at the Final Four. So
yeah,
what did that like kind of mean to you as an evolving basketball player?
Do you know what? I didn't. If I would have went into the game thinking I could win MVP here, I think it would mean it meant a lot at the time when I won it, but I had no idea, or I had no desire to be like, I'm going to go in. I want to win the MVP this time. Just when they called my name at the end, I was shocked. I kind of stopped, like, oh, me? Oh, okay, cool. Like, all right, thanks. I didn't realize that I had, because I think back in those days, like, it wasn't similar now. Like, we didn't have, maybe had live stats, but you don't really know how many points you have or what the stats are at halftime or anything like that. So I was just playing, just hooping. Luckily for me, I had Luke Nelson on my team that year, so everyone else was just focused on him, so I could kind of just get my shots off, and they managed to go in, and I managed to have a good game. So it was cool. It kind of, for me, it was like a bit of recognition that I can perform and I can be a good player, and I can do, without maybe trying, I can do good things. So it was good recognition, but like I said, I didn't, in my wildest dreams, I didn't think that I was going to go into that. You didn't go into that game with the mindset as I want to win the MVP here. But everything that came with it, like the GB stuff and everything afterwards, was cool. So yeah, it was a good game.
And then you make your move to Northumbria University, where so what was that process like?
So I was playing at Reading, and we had a good year, and I wanted to. I wasn't too sure about uni before, like when I graduated from college with Reading, I wasn't really sure about uni, so I just put it on the back burners a bit. Thought I'd play for a little bit longer at Reading, and then spoke to the coach Mark Stoogle at Northumbria, and he was showing interest and said that like he'd love me to come up here, and I wanted to go to uni and kind of get my degree and still be able to play basketball, and it just, I mean, Newcastle was a very, 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 very long way away. So I mean, I could have, for my mum's sake, I could have picked a closer place. But yeah, Newcastle was probably the best 4 years of my life, and had a great time up there, and did some really good things, met some amazing people, like friends to this day. So, but it was a really simple conversation with Mark Stootle, which led to it. Just told me kind of what he had in store, what he thought about the team, and what the university could offer me. So it was an easy decision, really.
I mean, being a uni student myself as well, like at the moment, it's like two of the best years that I've had in my
Yeah.
life. To all those that are thinking about maybe going for a degree, but they're not too sure about it, would you actually recommend that they take a year out, think about it more, and then go to uni when they're ready?
I feel like for me, and this won't be the same for everybody, but I was like at that, what is it? You go to uni at 18.
Yeah.
At that age, if I would have went to uni at 18, I would have just messed around. Like I wasn't mature enough to really understand that you really have to put in the work, and to be like a student athlete, you really have to put in work. There's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of dedication to it. Like it's not easy. So I think me going at when I was a bit older, I'd have my time kind of messing around and doing whatever. And so I knew that, okay, I'm going and I want to be able to really kind of sit down and graft and grind and be able to get my degree. So for me, definitely, definitely going to uni to get a degree is a good idea. And I think if you're one of the people like myself who you feel like you might just mess around when you're at 18, you just want to go out and do stupid stuff, then don't do it then. Wait, give yourself some time, figure it out, and then your time will come when you feel like ready. Okay, yes, I'll go and be able to make the best of it, because it's not a thing you should take lightly. It's definitely something you should go with a plan and be able to make the most of it.
Definitely. I think that the more that you mature, the more that you appreciate that time at university as well.
Definitely.
When you were with Northumbria University, you actually visited an arena that you have come across quite a few times in the past couple of seasons that you've had to visit to, and you won the NBL Cup with Northumbria in the University of Worcester Arena. What was that? What was it like being in that arena, winning that game, and then couple of years down the line, you'd be playing Worcester for, I don't know, 6 times.
Yeah, so many times we played them this year. That was lovely, man, because Northumbria they'd come up through the ranks of the D1, from Division 4 to Division 3, all the way up to Division 1, and hadn't won anything yet, I don't think. I can't remember. I think that was the first thing we won. But so they come up through the ranks, so it was like, that one was really for our coach, Mark Stootle, who joined me, puts in so much blood, sweat and tears at Northumbria and really got to get the program to where it was. It was amazing to win that trophy or the cup. It was amazing to win it for him, to give him a little bit of recognition, because he's a really good, I think he's definitely one of the coaches who doesn't get as much recognition as he should. So it was amazing and even to play in that stadium as a D1 player, where you don't get to play in the best of facilities. So to go and play there, you're surrounded by seats and stuff like that. So it's like, it is very like, everything is really like onto the court. So it was an amazing experience. I think we played Solent, with a very good team at the time, and you managed to grind out and get a win. So yeah, good.
Yeah, and that kind of like allowed you to get the experience in an arena filled with a bunch of people for then you to go and make your pro debut with the Bristol Flyers. What did it mean to get contacted by the Flyers and get offered the contract?
It was amazing, man. I think coming out of Northumbria, I knew I wanted to continue to play basketball, and I knew if I could, I'd love to play it at the next level in England and play at the BBL level. So my coach Mark just sent my stuff out my highlight tape and stuff out to a couple teams, and Andreas, Coach Kapoulis at Bristol Flyers, got back to me, and we had some real good conversations, and just talking about the team and the club and where they see themselves, and their core values, and they kind of coincided with my core values as a person, as a player. So it was a really easy decision, and it was, a really good club to be a part of, and a really good club to make my BBL debut with.
Absolutely. And what is it like playing under Coach Kapoulis?
It's good, man. He's so passionate about Bristol, about the Flyers, about everything they can do, and do you know what I mean? And rightly so for him, man. He brought the team all the way from the bottom leagues in England to the top league in England. So, do you know what I mean? He's had an amazing journey, and he's a really good coach. He does, do you know what I mean? Tactically, really good coach. Kind of being able to understand people and stuff, really good. So, do you know what I mean? He's definitely one of the best coaches in England at the moment. So, he's done a really good job with Bristol, and I think it's just his passion, really, that really kind of puts him apart from other coaches. Is kind of really being, and I mean, if you watch any of our games from last season, if you see us playing, you're 100% sure you'll see him on the sidelines with a hand gesture or with something. Johnny, basket goes in, he's there with us. Like, so, yeah, really good coach.
I mean, being on the side, like around the courts of the University of Worcester arena, I definitely saw, it's the passion that he emits on the sidelines. Yeah. It's fantastic, and I guess that kind of rubs off on you guys as well.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You all have to have that passion to play, and it definitely. I mean, for sure, this season you guys have been pretty good. Like you about like it was kind of neck and neck between you and Worcester this season, like third.
Yeah,
especially. Well, go on. Sorry.
No, you go. Sorry, no.
Especially with the final this year, the BBL Cup final in Birmingham, it was kind of like you'd been going at each other all season long.
All season,
and it's the finale. What was it like going into that final?
That was an amazing experience. I think just because of the sheer scope of everything. Do you know what I mean? I think it was in front of like 9,000 fans. I think, I think that's the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest crowd I've played in front of. So that was an adjustment at first. When we got out onto the court, I was like, looked around a bit, like, Jesus Christ, like this is mass. Like, there's so many people here. Like, okay, like takes you like a couple of seconds to be like, okay, I'm here. Okay, let me refocus and let me get ready to play. But yeah, I mean, that was a really good experience, and unfortunately we came up short. But obviously, Worcester, they played really well. We knew what they were like as a team. We knew how they played. We knew who was dangerous on that team. And I mean, they all I want to say deserved to win it that day. They played really well. They were very well coached with Matt Newby. So, I mean, it was I think we thought we might get it towards the end, or I think it was in the second half. We started making a little bit of a comeback. But yeah, they did well to kind of hold us off and to end up winning it. So yeah, congratulations to them.
Yeah, it was a very back and forth game. It was a very good game. I remember, being the guy in Worcester to support that. I was kind of watching through my fingers, like, oh no, I can't watch. It was riveting stuff. It was fantastic, and I mean, you guys have such a great side. Like, I mean, Captain Daniel Edozie, spoken to him, previously on this channel as well, and he, him being the captain of the team, he has a lot of passion for the game. What is it like playing alongside a character like Daniel?
Dan is a very, very, very unique individual. I don't think you'll meet many people like him in your lifetime. I think for me, the thing I like about Dan so much is he's always so positive. Like he'd always come into practice, and when he'd come in, it just kind of brings like this aura of positivity with him. Like it just follows him around, and that's lovely. I think as a captain, to play with someone like that, do you know what I mean? It just increases your mental and how you see things and how your positivity as a person. So definitely playing with Dan, and he works very hard. Do you know what I mean? Works hard, and he, do you know what I mean, doesn't take any plays off, and do you know what I mean, tries to do the best he can at all times. So, and that's all you can ask from anybody on a basketball court. So, but yeah, definitely just his positivity, man. He's such I think if you've spoken to him, you'll see he's just such a positive person. Always smiling, always happy, always joy. Like I think I've seen him in my 2 years at Bristol. I think I saw him down maybe one time, and then he quickly snapped out of it and was like straight back to how he usually is. So yeah, he's so positive, man. It's great. It's lovely to see.
He's a great guy. I think he was my first interview on this channel, and it was an absolute. I couldn't have started off any better. He's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
And when he plays, he's a freak of nature too.
Yeah, no, he is, man. He's so. I think with Dan, it's like even though he was like 6'8", 6'8",
something like 6'6", something like that.
6'6", oh 6'6", yeah, 6'6". But I was saying, like, he plays like he's so much taller. He's so long, so athletic, really mobile for a big guy, getting up and down. Got good hands, so he can finish around the rim. But as I said, that thing, just that positivity thing of like if the game is getting out of reach a little bit, bring us in and, do you know what I mean, say whatever we need to do. But the way he says it, and, do you know what I mean, believe in him. So yeah, good.
Yeah, he's definitely a great guy to lead the Bristol team, especially with, him re-signing this season as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So for 2018 you signed with the Bristol Flyers, and you sort of had like a backseat role. You played about 17 minutes per game.
Yeah.
The season just gone. You managed. You stepped up. You the coach gave you way more minutes and you kind of had like your own role. What
Yeah.
was it like given that, sort of experience and that sort of responsibility on the court to be like kind of the first guard on the court?
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, like my first year was more of like a learning year, I think, for me to come in there, like with the BBL, it's a new league, it's an adjustment. So so when I was brought in, when I spoke to Andreas, he said that it'd be more of a backup role, and it ended up kind of I think I started a few games my first year, so it ended up it was kind of like I was always like this. I didn't really know didn't really know if I was going to be playing the whole game or if I was going to be starting but it was good. I mean, it gave me an experience, and I knew kind of how it feels to start. I knew what it takes to be like a league guard in the league. So I think going into this year, I was prepared for that. And obviously the talks I had with Andreas in the summer, I was prepared to kind of to be like the lead point guard and kind of be that person who would get us into our stuff and kind of make sure that we weren't going too crazy with shooting the ball all the time, or kind of, do you know what I mean? Just kind of, because we had scorers on the team, so I didn't necessarily need to bring that to the team. It was kind of just making sure that we had our balance and kind of getting us into our stuff and controlling the tempo and stuff. So, but it definitely my first year definitely prepared me for that, and I feel like I excelled in my role this year at kind of just doing that. So, yeah.
And unfortunately, having this season kind of, I mean, it's been null and voided. It's kind of just ended, very very suddenly. How disappointed were you to find out that the league wasn't carrying on this year?
Yeah, I was very disappointed. I feel like it's frustrating. I think for us as players, like I think us as a Bristol team, we'd had maybe one of the better years that Bristol have had in terms of, like, we got to our first cup final. I don't think they'd beaten Leicester. We managed to beat Leicester twice this year. And that Leicester, a very prestigious club. I think we were coming to the end of the season, or when the season ended, or when they postponed it. I think we were if this class was started then, we would have been in the 8th spot. I think, but we had like 6 or 7 games left, and I think the gap between like 8th and maybe 4th, I think maybe, was only a few games. So, I mean, we could have ended up. Who knows where we could have ended up? I mean, unfortunately we'd lost Fred Thomas to injury, but we replaced him with Eric Lockhart, who was a very very good player. So those last couple games for the end of the season, we kind of started to find our rhythm again. So I would love to say that we would have been able to make it to maybe like 4th, or make it to 4th, but who knows? Dropping the season got ended prematurely, which is obviously frustrating. But we're definitely having a good season, and definitely we'd love to be able to see that continue on into next season.
Definitely. And what have you got planned for the next season coming up? Like, is there anything you can share, or?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't signed anywhere yet. I'm kind of just, I think with the whole COVID-19 stuff, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of uncertainty surrounding everything. So at the moment, I'm just really exploring my options and seeing what's out there for me. I've had like some personal changes, which may lead me to be doing something else. But at the moment, yeah, just kind of looking at my options really.
I mean, definitely you got to try and like just stay patient. I know that a lot of players are being advised to stay patient in this time and just kind of weigh out like what the best options are, especially with the BBL. Like there's not a lot of funding with certain teams as well. So you just got to wait for it.
I think that's the thing as well. Is there's not a lot of funding between teams, and a lot of teams may rely on ticket sales and may rely on kind of their presence in schools to be able to fund what they do. So, and with the whole COVID-19 thing, that's kind of postponed a lot of that, and no one really, it's very uncertain whether people will be allowed to watch the games or whether or not you'll be allowed into schools to do the coaching or whatever, or the community stuff that you do. So I think patience is a big thing right now, and like we say, it might not be a regular season in terms of when it starts and stuff. So I mean, who knows?
Absolutely. And moving away from the uncertainty and the sadness of the postponed season and what is to come of the BBL season, I've got like a little fun segment that I'm going to introduce here on the British basketball scene, which is the Lewis starting five. So
Okay.
basically, you are put into a team and you are able to control who is in this team. So you are at the
Okay.
starting point guard position. You
Sick.
have to fill in the shooting guard, the small forward, the power forward, and the center.
Ooh.
And also, you are given the role. You are given the choice of what head coach you want as well. So
Okay.
if you want to go through each individual one and why you would pick those in your starting five.
Are we talking about who, like BBL players, or are we talking
BBL across
NBA
any
NBA players?
NBA,
Oh,
anyone.
okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Jeez. Um,
Let's start with the shooting guard
shooting
position.
guard. I'm going James Harden because he's lefty. So I feel like we'd be able to connect telepathically through being both left-handed. Yeah, definitely James Harden. Just a scorer. He'd be able to score the ball. He doesn't. Do you know what I mean? No conscious at all. Just goes, just scores the ball. So yeah, definitely him at the shooting guard position. At small forward, I would put. Ooh, I'll put KD at the small forward. Just because again, just be ridiculous. He's 7 foot. Shoot the lights out.
KD over LeBron and Giannis.
Yeah, definitely. KD is ridiculous. I'll probably put, yeah, definitely KD. I'd have LeBron in there. I might. We'll get to LeBron. We'll get to LeBron. But yeah, definitely I'd have KD in there at small forward just because he'd be way oversized for the small forward position. No one be able to guard him. So that's a bucket. That's a bucket.
He's guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed bucket.
The power forward position.
Power forward. I've got. Do you know what? I'd have one of my teammates from this year. I'd have Raf Thomas Edwards at power forward because he's just a machine, man. Like he just. I've got all these I've got LeBron and not LeBron. I've got James Harden and KD to shoot the ball, but you need someone like Raf in there just to to go and grab balls and be relentless. And do you know what I mean? I don't think he runs out of energy. So, do you know what I mean? He's such a competitor. So yeah, I'd have him in there just to give us a little bit of balance, I think.
Definitely. And the last on court spot, the center position.
The center position, I would have. No, I wouldn't talk about that. If I could, I want to put Giannis in there at center. I think
He's not. Yeah, it's your team.
I'll put Giannis in there at center because he's strong as anything. I think, and I don't think you wouldn't be able to guard. Centers wouldn't be able to guard. Centers can't guard him. No one can guard him. So yeah, I put Giannis there in that center.
He's the freak for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to the off the court, the guy that's going to be calling the shots. If you're not already calling the plays yourself, the head coach of the team.
I'd like to have I'd like to have LeBron in there as player coach.
Okay.
But obviously it's only 5 of us on the court. So I think I'd have as a coach. I'd have my Northumbria coach Mark Stewart in there.
Okay.
As a coach, I feel like he'd be able to. To manage all the egos on the court at one time. Not from me and Raf. Me and Raf wouldn't have any egos, but definitely KD and Harden and Giannis. They definitely probably have egos. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and somewhere on the screen right now is the graphic of the starting five for Lewis. The Lewis is starting five, and we'll put the graphic up somewhere on social media as well. So that's going to be the new series that's going to happen. Let me know in the comments or around anywhere if you guys would like to see this series carry on. So coming to sort of the nearer the end of the interview now, I've got quite a few not quite personal questions, but some that could take a bit of thought. So when did you realize that you were going to pursue basketball? When did you realize that yes, this is going to define who I am?
Do you know what I had an interview before with Chris.
Everything Chris.
Everything Chris. Yeah, he asked me a similar question, and so I'm going to give you a similar answer because this is the. So I was I can't remember what year it was, but I literally just started playing basketball maybe, and I was with my granddad. We went into town or something, and we went to HMV. And whenever we went somewhere, like I'd always pester him to buy me something or can I get this? Can I get that? And I saw an NBA game like I think it was a PlayStation game on like it was down. It kind of like where I remember it is it shone above all the other games. I was like, oh, NBA, yeah, it's basketball. Let me get that. I was like, I'm gonna get this. So he got me it. I remember I came home and I was playing it, and I was playing with Kobe. I didn't even know who Kobe was at that time. But I was just playing, and obviously he was dunking the ball, he was shooting the ball, it was going crazy. I was like, this is amazing. I want to do this. I know it's a video game, but it's like, I want to be able to do everything they're doing in this video game. Like, I want to be playing in front of fans. I want to be kind of handling the ball. I want to be able to dunk it. I want to be able to do this. So I was like, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I really want to do. So it all came from my granddad taking me into HMP to buy me a video game.
That's an amazing way to get hooked on basketball for sure. Shout out to everything Chris as well. I love the content that he's making as well. He's
definitely.
He's quite the good chap. I'll leave the link to his stuff in the description down below as well. So a couple more questions here. What like when it comes to basketball, a lot of players do want to just make sure that they are kind of a role model for for people that look up to them. So what kind of message do you want to spread? Being a professional basketball player?
I think just that I'd say anything in life that you want to do, you can do it, but it's going to takes hard work. I mean, I think that a lot of time now in society and in the world, you see people in like a level of importance or getting to a certain level, and you feel like it's not obtainable. But like, you need to understand there's so like you see the results of people putting in hard work. Do you know what I mean? You don't necessarily see all the stuff that people do behind the scenes to be able to get to where they're at. So all the preparation people go through. So I feel like that's just a big thing for me, is that do you know what I mean? You can get to anything you want in life, but there's going to be a journey. There's going to be a struggle. You're going to have to work for it. Nothing comes, unless you're very, very lucky, nothing comes kind of given. Nothing's ever given to you. So I think that's my big message is to people, to individuals who you want to get into anything. You're going to have to work for it. I think that's a big thing. I think that's an important message to put across. I think a lot of young kids now see social media and see people kind of flaunting what they have on social media, and it's, do you know what I mean? Some of it is not true. A lot of it is not true, but the ones who maybe do have something, but they've worked hard for it. I mean, so I think that's a massive thing. Is just, I mean, you got everything that you need, everything you do, everything you want to do in life. You have to work hard for it. Even though, I mean, you may see people, you might think people are way ahead of you, way ahead of you, but you could be just behind them. It's just taking that little bit more hard work for you to get to where they are. So, yeah.
Absolutely, it's great advice for anyone to follow, and the wise words of Lewis Champion there. Absolutely. So moving on, kind of like you working hard and like progressing yourself as not just a basketball player but a human being as well. Where would you like to see yourself in potentially 5 years' time?
5 years. I don't know. I think I'd like to still be playing basketball in some capacity, be it in the BBL, be that in a lower league. But I think my big thing now is trying to inspire the youth. I work as like a youth mentor in Bristol on the side. So I work with kids who maybe come from kind of underprivileged backgrounds or are in the social system. So I think I'd like to be able to continue to work with those kinds of kids and be able to inspire them and been able to put them in position to be successful in life. So hopefully be owning my own business and doing that kind of stuff, and maybe mentoring or maybe working in schools to be able to kind of empower through the school systems. I feel like there's a lot of kids in schools who maybe don't get the support that they need. And you know what I mean? I feel like that's a big thing, to try and empower and inspire the youth of today to want to do good things and want to do. There's so many distractions out there at the moment in the world. So kind of keep them on straight and narrow, keep them on a positive path, I think is important. So yeah, I think that in 5 years, hopefully I'll be retired. No, I won't be retired.
On a yacht somewhere.
Yeah, yacht somewhere. No, but in 5 years, definitely, hopefully still playing basketball in some capacity, but also kind of trying to do some more stuff off the court to be able to inspire and push youth of today to be on the right track and right paths.
That's quite. And speaking of, having the the youth, the kind of the guiding light for
Mm.
those people that are the kids that will need it.
Mhm.
Who would you say has helped you along the most in your life?
Um,
Or it could be like a one person, or it could be like a group of people, or like just one or two.
obviously, family is a massive. Do you know what I mean? Is a massive for me. That's one of my massive, one of my core values is my family. Do you know what I mean? I feel like having having that kind of support system in anything, is very important. And I know a lot of people aren't as lucky as I to have that support system. So I'm always grateful for those guys, and my mum, my grandparents, aunties, uncles, my extended family, joint people, my mum's friends who I've known them for so long. They're like my auntie, uncles, or cousins. You know what I mean? So just having that support system of people around me to be able to push me and guide me is probably it's probably my biggest influence, and people who have helped me the most. Obviously I've had coaches along the way who have really pushed me and got me to where I had a coach at Bristol at Reading called Samit. He coached at Leeds in the BBL for maybe 2 years with Matt Newby. So Matt Newby will know him. Craziest coach I've ever met, but like one of the guys who really made me see myself as a good player. Like I always knew that I was okay at basketball and I was good, but really kind of empowered me to think like, Lewis, you're as good as anyone out there on the court at the moment. You just need to go and do it and show it and prove it. So, really kind of gave me the tools to be able to do that. So yeah, I'd say obviously first and foremost, my family has been a massive influence, and all the coaches that I've ever had, I've always tried to take, and teammates, I've always tried to take little bits and bobs from how they are, how they play to mold my game after. But yeah, my biggest influence I think would be my family, definitely.
Definitely, and family is insanely important, no matter who you are. So,
Mm-hmm.
the final question I'd like to put across to you. So, somehow magically you are teleported back in time, 15 years, and you
Mm-hmm.
are alongside 10-year-old Lewis Champion. You have about a minute a minute until you are transported back to modern day. What advice would you give to little 10-year-old Lewis to keep him on his journey of becoming the man he is today?
First of all, I'll tell him to start Instagram. I'd say, yo, Instagram's going to be a massive thing, or Amazon, but Amazon's going to be a massive thing.
Invest.
Start that, invest, or tell someone about it to make it. So, do you know what I mean? Lewis Champion, Amazon owner. But I think if I could go back and tell him, I would just tell him that just to stay the course, man. Everything's going to be all right. You can do anything you want to do. Again, work hard. Just believe in your family, trust in your family. Be a great person all the time, and just enjoy it, man. Do you know what I mean? You get one life. Just enjoy it to the best of your ability, man. Do everything you want to do. Don't be afraid to do anything, or don't hold back because of fear. Like that's ridiculous. Just go out and do it, man. If you want to do it, if I wanted to be, if I went back in 15 years and he was 10 and that he was. I'd say, whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about people's opinions. Don't worry about what people are telling you to do. Just be your own person and do what you want to do.
Amazing advice to follow for anyone that's seeking any advice, really. And before I end this video, I would just like to give a quick shout out, like I did in the introduction, to go to alwaysballing.com. The Bigger Than Basketball campaign, supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. It's a massive campaign that you should indeed support. Go down to the description down below and purchase one of those t-shirts. £4 from those t-shirts go to the Amos bursary. So please do go and check that out down below. Lewis, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today.
No, thank you, Reece. Appreciate having me on, man. And I love the stuff you're doing, man. You guys are really kind of giving us, like, players definitely in the BBL and in England, a voice to be able to share some stuff. So, and super important, man. I love the content you're putting out, man. It's amazing.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Definitely, Reece.
See you guys later.
See you later.